So there's a woman named Yamuna who makes these different foot exercisers, or really foot stretchers. This particular one that's the smaller dome shape is called the Foot Saver. And then she has another one that's kind of spiky that's called the Foot Waker. I personally don't like the spiky one. It feels really uncomfortable for me, but it's technically the more approachable one. It's a little bit wider in surface area. I love these in particular too, because one, if you work in an office, you might be able to slip it underneath your desk and basically stretch your feet out as you're going, which should actually help loosen your breath. Side note. They're also really great for travel. You can just toss them in, and if you're walking a lot on your vacation, you can be relaxing your feet at the end of the day. These things, I cannot tell you how many people they've helped for plantar fasciitis. Like, hands down, #1 self-care tool. If your body's ready for it. They can be a little bit too intense, but I'll talk about that as we go. So you would start with it just in the middle of your heels. And then you're basically just going to walk back and forth slowly so that you're hitting all of the different trigger points in your feet. You can also kind of rock side to side so that you're putting a little bit more weight on one and then the other. Once you get to about this point, it's going to be really intense. So I'd say drop the heel and then add the other one. You also don't have to do both feet at one time. That's one of the options, particularly if you're having a plantar fasciitis thing. And then the very end, you actually want to get the ball of your foot on the floor, ideally, and then stretch your toes over it. So super simple. We just did the midline of the foot. You would go for 2 more passes so that you would then go in the lateral line and hit these outer 2 toes, and then go 1 more time and hit the inner 2 toes. That inner toe line is probably the most intense because that's where you're hitting the arch of your foot. So once again, don't do both feet at one time if it's too intense. You can also just grab like a little what am I trying to think of? Like a bouncy ball. You could buy that in a store too and just kind of roll it out enough to where you could then work your way into these. Thank you.